welcome to my channel. My name is Sylvia and my channel's all about art and craft. Now, I know I haven't been around for a while. Unfortunately, my mother-in-law ended up in hospital and there was a lot of stress with that. Even when she came out of hospital, there was a lot of things that needed to be organised and, you know, specialist appointments, etc, etc. So me being creative just didn't happen. So however, that side of things is over now and I can sort of start concentrating on myself again and, you know, being able to relax a little bit more and do what I love doing, and that's being creative. Now, speaking of that, I actually have given up doing paper crafts. Now, for those that are subscribed because of the paper craft that I was doing, doesn't mean you got to leave, because I've come up with an idea. I'm actually really getting into the woodworking side of things, but more important is what I want to make is things in order to improve my work area. So it means building my own cupboards specialised to what I want. Now, when you think about it, you know, whether you into paper crafting or painting or anything like that, your area, you can't really set it up the way you would like, because if you go to IKEA or anywhere else, you will never ever find exactly what you want, and you end up with a pile of plastic just sitting around, and you know, they fall apart after a while as well. So my thought is, because I'm going to be building my own cupboards and drawers and whatever else, that I take you guys on that journey, because if I can do it, you can do it too, and you don't have to have the complete setup of a woodworker's paradise, I suppose you could call it, because hey, I watch YouTube videos, people that do woodworking, and I'm sort of like, oh, I wish I had this, and oh, I wish I had that, you know, it would make my life a lot easier. However, I'm going to do it with what I've got. Okay, there might be a few little bits and pieces that I'll buy that are not too expensive, because unfortunately finances, you know, only allow me to do so much. However, if you're into woodworking and you've watched other people's YouTube channels and you see, you know, how they display all their equipment, and it looks so nice and clean. Well, I can assure you they would have spent hours, if not days, trying to clean everything to make it look spotless. There's a reason I say that. I'm about to show you that, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand behind the camera and I'll zoom in behind me right there. This is a good example. I did one project, which I'll show you in a minute as well, but let me just get behind the camera and I'll show you. So, as you can see, I've got things sitting on the bench and I've got things hanging up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in. Now I've partially cleaned the bench top, but not 100%, and you'll be able to see it clear as. As you can see, the amount of sawdust that's just everywhere. Okay, now I'm going to focus onto my tools that are hanging up. You see how dusty they are? That is the reality when it comes to woodworking. So because I do other things as well, like sewing and painting, and I use my heat press as well, I do a lot with those sort of things, I've got to be able to protect all that. And that's where my customization is going to come in. And I also want to build a woodworking area, right? Because eventually, yes, I will have a really good setup, where at the moment I've got a couple of things sitting there, and you know, I've got a little cheap router and a cheap drill and a cheap table saw, which eventually will disappear, because the kind of woodworking that I'll be doing, I need a bigger, better one. However, I need to save up for it because it's not cheap. Now, what I had actually made was, I'll come over here and I'll zoom back out. This cupboard here, okay? This is actually for my mother-in-law. Now, the bottom here, that will house her washing basket, okay? And above that, I have a shoe rack for her. Because she's 93 and her balance is not that good anymore, I'm trying to stop her from bending over. And most shoe racks, they're pretty much at the bottom, so yeah, try and stop that so she can't have another fall, because that was one of the reasons she ended up in hospital. And but yeah, just that literally covered everything up here in my area, covered it full of dust. And if I zoom in onto the shelf there, you can see, because I haven't even cleaned that up properly. Okay, you can see the sawdust sitting there. And as I say, it's just everywhere. Doesn't matter where I look. Whoops, went the wrong way. So, for those woodworkers out there, I want to show you, because this is how I'm going to end up building it once I get to designing my woodworking area, how you can pretty much still put it on display but protect it from the sawdust. And I'm also going to be making customized cupboards and drawers for my sewing, my heat press, my painting gear. And it's something that I haven't found on YouTube at all, what is in my mind. And the one thing we all know is we might start off small, but eventually we grow, which then means that you need even more storage for your things. So you will find these cupboards very interesting, let's just say it that way. Okay, now I've got to wait for my husband to be able to go and get me some more plywood, and as soon as he's done that, I will start building my first cupboard, which is going to be for the heat press, because I've got some stock sitting on the floor. It's covered in sawdust, so I'll want to build a cupboard in order to put it away and protect it. However, it will take me a little bit of time, because I will need to purchase things like drawer sliders. Now, they're not cheap, especially on how deep I'm making it. So I will have to purchase them at a later date. But it's also a good thing, because what I can do is build the majority of it, do the drawers, and that way I can work out what size sliders I'm actually going to need, because this is something I've never done before. So this is a learning curve for me. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos and I think I understand it, but we'll find out. And yeah, as I say, I'm going to be doing it without having the full setup and or the finances for that matter, but which is fine. We'll get there. The main thing is get started. Yes, watch a pile of YouTube videos, and this is how I actually started getting some of my ideas, because there's been certain channels that do some unique things, and I've sort of picked a few bits and pieces out of that and basically ended up creating my own, because it's got to work for me, okay? And this is something that I want you guys to basically sort of realise, like, you know, well, hang on a minute, she hasn't done woodworking for a very long time. I mean, hey, I'm in my 50s, I won't say exactly how old, and I did woodworking when I was at school. I left school a long time ago, but I try and reteach myself by watching YouTube videos, and I take certain bits out of everyone's videos, and because I've got the creative mind, I actually design my own, except I design it in my head. I don't put it down on paper. It's not working for me. I've tried, it's not working, so I'll just keep doing it the way I'm doing it. So anyway, if you're new to my channel and you'd like to follow me along in my journey, then be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you get notified when I put videos up. And also be sure to give us a thumbs up, because that'll really help us with the algorithm. So anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.